Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the first video of 2022. I just can't believe it's honestly wild to say 2022 now because 2021 is over. 2020 is where things really fell for everybody, and now basically we're still living in these uncertain times in our third year. So with everything that's going on right now in the world, who knows? But for this video, I will be talking about the best books I read in the year of 2021. So I feel like I read more bad books than I did good, but the good books that I did read, I felt like I was fed very well. Like it was definitely quality over quantity for sure. So I essentially only have 3 5-star reads that I read in 2021. If you're someone who has regularly watched my videos and subscribed over the past year, you pretty much already know what these books are. So no surprise there. But before we get further into the video, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, the first video sponsor of the year, Book of the Month. How appropriate. Safe to say, Book of the Month has been my lifesaver and coming in clutch for like the past year because they were the most consistent company I worked with throughout 2021. Every month I can count on them, and you can count on them too, because they are essentially a super fast and popular online growing book service for readers whose mission is to promote new and emerging authors to help more readers discover the books they love. What's really special about them is that every month they vet through hundreds of early and newly released titles, so you can spend more time reading and less time researching. And the absolutely best thing about them is that they have the cheapest price for newly released hardcover fiction that you won't find anywhere else. They have a skip policy where if you're not interested in that month's selection of books, you can totally skip it. It's risk-free. If you'd like to get your first book for only $9.99, you can use my code, which is literally the name of the channel, my name, Ellias. So here are all the January selections, all the picks for this month. And personally, out of all these books, I am most excited to read Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. This one primarily follows a group of stunning 20-something-year-olds who get stranded and cut off from civilization on this remote, beautiful island where they're vacationing, only to find out that one person is murdered and the other missing. So we have some twists and turns, some Agatha Christie vibes here, and I'm absolutely here for it. So among the other releases, we have Fiona and Jane by Jean Chen Ho, Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis, Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, and finally we have the add-on for the month, The Maid by Nikita Prose. Everything will be linked down in the description box below, and thank you again to Book of the Month for sending these books my way and for sponsoring today's video. So a couple things before I dive into the books. So I'm really hoping that this year, crossing my fingers, that I'll be able to read and hit 100 books of 2022. Because of all the years that I've been on BookTube, and I think of my entire life, I don't think I've ever hit the 100 books a year mark. Ever. I think I've come pretty close a couple of times, but I've never managed to hit 100 or beyond, so I'm really hoping, really praying that this year will be the year that I'll be able to finally do it. But I feel like reading 100 books in of itself is just a lot in general, because 100 books, that's essentially 8 to 9 books per month with 2 books per week. We're literally in the first week of January, and have I completed or read any book yet, for that matter? Well, I can safely say we are starting the new year quite strong, fighting. But I hope you all had a wonderful, great start to the new year. I also want to quickly thank you guys for watching my videos and commenting and supporting me in all the ways. It is just truly wonderful, and I am so thankful and grateful to be part of this community and for all of you guys. Truly, thank you for all of your support. We are so close now to hitting 100K. That number to me is just wild, because when I first started my channel a few years ago, I would have thought that was something unattainable, something unfathomable that I would never ever reach. But here we are. This year I'm also hoping to start a Twitch channel. That way if I'm playing games like Dead by Daylight, Valorant, League, games like that, I'll be able to stream. So hopefully I can get that up and running within a couple of months. But anyways, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the best books of 2021. So these are not in any particular order. I gave all of these books, these 3 books, 5 stars. I love them all equally. They are fucking amazing and fantastic. And the first one up being Unearthed, Rebuffy Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. So I read and completed this early last year, and it was, I think, one of my first favorites of 2021. And this book was just so irrevocably relatable to me in every sense, because the author, he's Vietnamese, I'm also Vietnamese, and it honestly hit something really deep within me, something really integral, because growing up and reading about these similar aspects, these small circumstances that were in this book, it just really hit different, like profoundly in every sense. It essentially follows this young man who writes a series of long letters to his mother who can't read or speak English. And this book primarily follows this young man on a journey of exploration of grief, trauma, and sexuality. And it was just both beautiful and heartbreaking in every sense, all due to the writing elevating its core material and characters and stories as well. Like, you can definitely tell Ocean is a poet. Even though this book does read like a self-autobiographical memoir, it was just a really beautiful and enlightening piece of work to read, and I would honestly highly recommend it to everyone 2021. It's so short. It's literally less than 200 pages long. As you can see, there's like some tabs here, some sticky notes that I put in. And honestly, I had to stop because if I had kept going, every single page, every single line would be tabbed and highlighted, and I just had to refrain and stop myself. So this book is a definite high recommendation for me. It's also being made and turned into an A24 film. So pretty excited to see how that plays out. But overall, a big 5 out of 5. Alright, so this next 5-star read is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Do I even need to say anything more at this point? So if you are new to my channel, if you are newly subscribed, I read this book back in July and I fucking loved it. This is one of those unexpected books that I've seen everywhere. And when I say almost everyone that I have seen, that I know, that are on some platform or another, has loved this book. So I was very skeptical, very hesitant, extremely wary going into this book. And not gonna lie, like I think around 15-30 pages in, I wasn't really feeling this at all whatsoever. However, listening to this book on audio and reading it physically helped immensely. And by 100 pages in, I could feel something. I could feel something tugging at my heartstrings, and I was feeling it. I was feeling things, okay? And then when I got to the end, of course, I was fucking devastated, as many of you were. Obviously, no spoilers here. I was just all of my feels, feeling all the things of hate, love, everything, experiencing this relationship, even though I've never experienced something like this before. I honestly truly don't know how to describe it. Like, you will literally only get this feeling, what I'm talking about, if you have truly read and loved this book. I know for some people that this book might not be for everyone. I do know that there is somewhat of an extensive mythology background, like history background information. However, that didn't really faze me at all because I personally felt well-versed and confident in my Greek mythology and history. I actually already knew the source material. I had read the Iliad a few years back. I already knew what the story would entail and the characters going forward. However, even with all that prior knowledge of knowing what was going to happen to these characters and the story, it still hit me hard in the best way possible. This book was honestly one of the best surprises ever. I even made a whole full dedicated video for this book, so if you want to check that out, because it has all of my thoughts and feels of everything that I felt going for this book in that video. At the end of the day, this was one of the best and surprising 5-star reads I've ever read in my entire life, and it is definitely a newfound favorite as well. I understand all the love, I understand all the hype, and it deserves all of it 100%. So, alright, so the last 5-star read that I gave this year is Summer Suns by Lee Mandello. So if you already know me in general with my taste in books, you all already know what my favorite books are, what my tastes are. I love books about books. Books that have some magical element to it, true friendships, and queer and gay characters. And this book has 3 out of 4 elements going for it. So I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. This book is literally the Raven Boys, but make it darker, sexier, edgier, and more passionate. That is pretty much all you need to know, the basis going in for this one. What's also really interesting about this is that the writing style in here is just unlike anything I've ever read. It is just so hauntingly beautiful. Like even the blurb says right here, hot, hungry, and haunting. I kid you not, there were so many times, so many instances where I had to like put the book down and look up a particular word that the author had used in the sentence. I don't think I've ever used a dictionary as much as I did for this book because I could have sworn that the author literally made up words just for the sake of this book. And hey, I'm not mad, and you learn something new every day, but it was just honestly a wild time. The characters in here are they're just what gets me, okay? Every single time, like the story in of itself here is sort of like a backdrop, the background noise compared to the characters in the writing here. Like the characters are pretty much the strongest point for me in this book, and they were all fucking lovely. Think of an old hardcore grizzly bear being friends with like a small baby cat, a kitten, if you will. Those are the good vibes that I got reading this book, and it was just honestly a really great time reading about ghosts, curses, and familial generational trauma, as well as themes of the exploration of masculinity, internalization of homophobia, and friendships. This is all the great things, all the great vibes, highly definitely recommend. So if you're a fan for The Raven Cycle or for All the Game by Nora Sakovic, then this is a book for you. Alright, so those are all the 5-star books that I read in 2021. Normally I would just cut off the video here, but I just wanted to give a few shoutouts, some honorary mentions to some of these books that didn't quite reach the 5-star scale, but were still pretty good and strong on their own. First up, we have Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. This one was a very surprising YA sci-fi dystopia book that I thoroughly enjoyed. I made a whole reading vlog about this. You can check that out, and I think I gave this a 4.5 out of 5, so pretty close. Alright, the next one is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. This one was just fantastic in every sense. Almost a new favorite, but I think for now I'm just gonna settle with a 4.5. It was just honestly so good and so magical, so atmospheric. The writing in here was just one of the best things. This was one of the last books I read in 2021, and it did not disappoint. I will be talking more about this in a reading wrap-up, so stay tuned. The last book is Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. For me, of all the books on this list, I feel like this is like the most classic Like, I feel like this is the type of book where if I reread it, I'll always gain or learn something new from it. And I feel like that is something very rare and magical for a book to have. Like, the only other series that I have reread that has come close to this is probably The Raven Cycle, and rereading it just made me fall more in love with the series overall. And so I'm hoping that this is what happens for this book, because this book is a book about books, and it is just really beautiful. Like, the characterization in this book is just no joke. It is just so intricate and layered and complex, and I just fucking love that, to simply put. But just not quite there yet. So I'm hoping that if I do a reread in the future, it will bump it up to a 5, but we'll see. Alright, so that is pretty much it for this video. Please let me know down in the comments below what are some of your favorite books of 2021. If you have any recommendations for me, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, guys, truly, for all of your love and support, all the comments, all the likes, everything. I am just really excited to see what the new year brings and what this journey will look like with all of you guys within this upcoming year. And with that being said, I will see all of you soon in a new video. So here are this month's picks for January. So here are this month's picks for January. I am personally, so here are all the January selections for this month. So here are all the January selections, all the picks for this month. So here are all the January selections, all the picks for this month. Thank you so much for watching me. So thank you so much. So thank you for all your, so thank you for all of your love and support. So thank you for all of your love. So thank you for all of your support. So thank you for, and truly thank you. So truly thank you. Oh shit. And their mother has loved this, and one has either, and when I say almost everyone, and when I say almost everyone that I know and have seen on any, oh my god, what is wrong with me? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this shit? I'm not here for it. Bad vibes, bad juju. Just chill. Okay? 2022, we're all here for the good vibes. Good vibes only.